Hi guys, Drew here, back with another video doing another Growls review as usual. And what a way to end this Growler season at NBC, the regular season at least, as the playoffs are just coming up. But the Growlers win 9-2 against the Trois Rivières Lyon. Before I start saying the goals and the quick recap, um, what's with Growlers always seeming to dominate Trois Rivières? I believe there were two games last year. One game at home, the Growlers beat Trois Rivières like 9-4 or something. I believe the Growlers got like 10 in Trois Rivières a year ago, I believe. But it seems like whenever the Growlers play Trois Rivières, it's always a high-scoring game. Last night as well was a very high-scoring game, and Saturday night, and even Friday night, to be honest with you. But I'll mention the goals for the Growlers. Brian Stowski getting 2 goals, pretty good for him. He has 4 goals this season, 7 points in 3 games for him, 7 points basically this weekend for him. Isn't too shabby. Pavel Gogolev getting a hat trick for the Growlers. He has 33 goals this season. He now leads the Growlers franchise leader for all most goals in a season. Now Skirving isn't far behind as he has 30 goals, so he could catch up with Pavel if Pavel gets called up this week at all, because the Growlers still have 2 games left to play this season. We'll have to wait and see what happens in those 2 weekends. I figure the Growlers will have a few ishy players in the lineup, maybe Adam Daw on the second line, Darian Plouffe playing top minutes. I don't think they'll give probably like Zach O'Brien or Pavel Gogolev a rest, so we'll have to wait and see if Skirving plays him. He could get that amount of goals, maybe past Pavel. We'll have to wait and see what happens, though. Keenan Sutter scored for the Growlers. He has 18 goals this season. Can he hit 20? He'll have to get 2 goals in 2 games. We'll have to wait and see what happens for Sutter, though, as he tipped that one. I'm sure that Mon Petit wasn't ready for that one, as Sutter is like 10 feet taller than him, it feels like. But all things said, that he had a good goal. Michael Joyo getting his 9th of the season with Hellickson and Tyconic and all these new defensemen coming in, Kokkonen as well. Joyo's kind of got forgotten about, but Joyo in this game proved that he could still be a reliable defenseman. He got actually top defenseman award for the Growlers in the pregame ceremony. I'll mention that later on in the video because I may have gave award to one of the players. But anyways, good to see Joyo getting one for the Growlers. James Mullendy scoring his 2nd of the season. This guy's pretty important player. We're also going to be talking about him later on in this video. But good to see him scoring. It was a pretty easy goal that the Growlers scored pretty much. The Growlers had 38 shots in this game, so that was pretty good for them. And Isaac Johnson finishes off the game, getting his 18th of the season on a breakaway against Mon Petit. Chesang, RIP, Mon Petit save percentage. He's only played 2 games for the Lions this year, and I'm sure this game his save percentage just went down a complete hill. But I just feel bad for him. Like, he's just joined the ECHL and he gets lit up. All 9 goals went in for him. The Growlers scored 3 goals in each period. Trois Rivières scored the 2 goals in the third. I think the Growlers tried to play a little easy on Trois Rivières in that last period. The 2 goals for Trois Rivières went to Nicholas Gay and William Lime. So with that, Growlers win. The Growlers are 48-22-0. They're first in their division. I didn't realize this, but if the Growlers get these 2 wins against Reading, they will have 50 wins this season. The Growlers have never done that in their history. It would be pretty nice to see them do it. And they are 2 points away from getting 100 points this season. Imagine if that happened, guys. That would be pretty cool to see the Growlers get that amount. Just need to win both of these games in Reading. You could get exactly 50. The Growlers have never got 50 wins, and they've also never got 100 points. So that's pretty good to see. And with that Growlers win, as you might know, the final score 9-2. That was Christopher Abbott's number, Buddy the Puffin, number 92. So good to see him. His number was supposed to get retired. I didn't hear much about people saying it. It was mostly people saying it. None of the Growlers social media accounts were saying that they were going to retire his number. But I have heard a few fans saying it was going to happen in the last game of the season. But didn't seem to happen. Maybe it could happen next season. We'll have to wait and see what happens. So, one rule that I hope the Growlers can switch next season is if a Growlers player can wear a higher number than 50. I really want to see a Growlers player wearing like number 92 or 91. No offense to Buddy the Puffin, but like a number in the 90s or the 80s or the 70s or the 60s. Any of those types of numbers would be really cool to see on the back of the jersey. I've seen a 90 custom jersey once, and it looks very cool, honestly. But good to have the final score 9-2 for Abo in that last game. Now, James Melindy has officially announced his retirement. Nobody knew it until the game ended. He went around center ice and put his stick in the air, and as he left, he high fived Buddy's hand as he usually would with Abo under five it. But good to see Melindy. Hope his best in retirement as well. I heard that he's going to be working for the St. John's Fire Department. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Melindy, and maybe he'll come out of retirement. I don't know, cause John McCarron for the Florida Everblades, he actually came out of retirement this season. So will we see Melindy do it? I doubt it. I don't know. I don't know. As much as talked trash about Melindy this whole year, he's definitely a very reliable captain and is pretty much the only guy on the ground that could drop the gloves and beat a guy pretty bad as well. Kubicek could be up there, but I think Melindy is the guy. Kubicek actually dropped the gloves this weekend, so it's good to see him dropping the mitts. Who's going to be the future captain for the Growls, guys? I don't know. Todd Skirving is definitely a good choice. Zach O'Brien is another dark horse would be Darian Plouffe. This guy's a very good leader, I find, with this Growlers squad. I feel like if they don't give it to any of those three players, it will be a defenseman. I feel like Joyo could be one. He's definitely at the age where he could be. He's 26 years old, 25 years old. So it'd be pretty cool to see if he could get one. Adam Daw maybe, but like I don't think Adam Daw's that old enough to be a captain. Like pretty much those three are the only three that I could currently think of. If Marcus Power was still on the team, they might have gave it to him. We'll have to wait and see what happens though. But Marcus isn't on the team anymore. He's retired. But who do you think's going to be the Growlers captain? You can comment down below and we'll have to wait and see who it is. Dryden McKay was in net for the Growlers. He made 22 saves, not too bad for him. I'm expecting Luke Calvin maybe to be in net next weekend. If Luke Calvin got... Okay, now I'm going to mention awards first before I say of that first. So, pretty good season for the Growlers. MVP and top forward went to Zach O'Brien. Not too surprised there. O'Brien's definitely the most valuable player on this Growlers squad. Skirving definitely is up there, but O'Brien he could be traded for a bunch of stuff. Not saying that he's going to be traded, but O'Brien just a dominant player in the ECHL. Todd Skirving got fan favorite. No really surprise there. Luke Kaplan got goalie of the year, and I was actually the person to pass out this award. He's a very nice guy. I came up, shook his hand as well. So it was very nice to pass out the award to him. So good to see Luke Kaplan. If he gets goalie of the year award for the Growls and rookie of the year, will he be the starter for the playoffs? We'll have to wait and see what happens. So I feel like the Growls might get a tandem done. If Kaplan has a rough game in game 1, they might make McKay the starter in game 2. Maybe if McKay has a rough game in game 2, or he stays hot in game 2, they'll play him in game 3. Or maybe they won't. We'll have to wait and see what happens, though. So, McKay had a pretty, decent game. Kaplan, he's going to be a good goalie, I tell you, in this future. He played last year for Flint. I remember last year in the offseason, I said, this guy could be the real deal. Same thing for McKay, and they've definitely shown it this season. There are two unbelievable goalies for this Growlers squad. And we're not even done talking. The Adirondack Thunder lost 5-3 to the Maine Mariners last night. So Adirondack currently is 1 point behind Worcester. They have 1 game in hand in Worcester, as Worcester only has 2 games left this season. And you know who those two games are playing? They are playing against the Adirondack Thunder. That is going to be definitely the top 2 biggest games of Worcester's franchise's history, the Worcester Railers at least. I'm sure the Worcester Sharks and a few other Worcester's teams had bigger games, but pretty big games for the Worcester Railers in these upcoming 2 games. Adirondack does have 1 game in hand though, so who knows what could happen when they play that extra 1 game. I don't think a team will be officially clinched till Adirondack's done their last game, to be honest with you though. But we'll have to wait and see what happens though. So, that's pretty much what we made for guys. That is it for the Mary Brown Center, in the regular season at least. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, you can like the video, you can subscribe if you really liked it. You can follow me on TikTok, that's Journal Hockey Guy. You can follow me on Facebook, that's Journal Hockey Guy. No space to that. Same thing for the Instagram account. I don't know why I'm saying that these past few videos, but you can follow me on Twitter, that is @FelsonDrew. I may have already said that, but we've hit 100 followers on the Facebook page. I may have already said that, but next time I'll be talking to you guys is when the Growlers are in Reading for the last 2 games of the season. We'll have to wait and see what happens, though. That's it for the guys, and I'll talk to you all again soon. First time I believe this season that we've hit 10 minutes, so that's pretty accomplishment for us.